Look, memory can change the shape of a room, it can change the color of a car. And memories can be distorted. They're just an interpretation, they're not a record. And they're irrelevant if you have the facts.
Someone wants me. Someone roaming the streets wants me.
Your car's uglier than I am. That didn't come out right.
If you did 20% of the work and got 80% of the results, wouldn't you do it? Well, Stephanie Miller wrote the book on it. How to Save the Planet the 80-20 Way. Let's hear some tips on how to save the planet right now on The Al Travis Show.
I hope the planet is doing okay. It's been a while, and I think we've really slacked up a lot around here, but we've got her back. Stephanie Miller, Zero Waste Living, the 80-20 Way. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Al?
No complaints. I actually am enjoying. Our weather broke. We had 80s and humid like nobody's business for about a month and a half. It was miserable. And that broke, and now we're like mid-70s and sunshiny and not even. I'm loving life. Can't complain.
Oh my gosh. It's the same here in DC. I am so happy with the lower humidity,
Yep.
the just 10 degrees less hot. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm happy again.
Isn't it crazy? Our whole attitude is about the weather, but it's true. It's what makes the world go round, so I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Missed you the last couple weeks.
Yeah, sorry. I've been off on some fun and not so fun adventures, but I'm happy to be back.
We're glad to have you back. We really are. What are we going to chat about today? What timely, how we can save the planet things do we have?
Well, I think it's been about a year since back to school was in vogue, and here we are again. And I was thinking, whether we're talking about college students, I have a couple nieces that are just going back to school, or, I think your wife teaches elementary
Yeah,
school.
absolutely. Yep.
It's all the same thing. It's kind of, don't you think it's that time of year where if you have a kid or if you are a kid, it feels like January 1st, right? It's like
Yeah.
a new year, new
Yep.
clothes, new way of life, new, what equipment are you going to take to your classes and your lunches and so forth. And so it's a great chance to do it better this year, do it more sustainably, do it more healthily.
I had a question for you, and this is just so funny. I'm a little weird. I wasn't thinking about it, but back in the day, the wife likes to take her lunch, right? And throw a brown paper bag and put your lunch in it and go. Well, we've been kind of doing this thing with you for years, and I wanted to get her a metal lunchbox because multiple use, and well, okay, you show that. That's a little
Your listeners
classier than
can't
mine.
see. Yeah.
I was trying to get her like a Shrek lunchbox with the thing. She felt it didn't look professional enough. And so that didn't go over well, but the school gave out these canvas, I guess it would be a cooler for lack of it, kind of a canvas bag thing, lunch bag, but made of canvas with insulation that she uses because that's cool.
Yeah.
But what is better for the planet? I'm thinking the actual metal lunchbox is the one that's best for the planet because it can be recycled. I don't know what happens to canvas's bag with liners in them, but now you're shaking your head at me. It can't be the brown paper bag because you go through one a day every day.
The best thing for the planet is whatever it is that you will reuse every day.
There you go.
Or most days. That's the best thing. If it's the canvas tote, great. If it's the Barbie or whatever lunchbox, which is so retro and cool, if you ask me.
Thank you.
But
I'm that cool.
But I get it. Your wife wants to,
more of a professional.
take it up a notch. She's allowed. But that's a cool idea you had, I think, and I hope someone will enjoy it. But it's whatever it is that you will use. If your wife will not use that metal
Then it wouldn't.
lunchbox, then it's not a great solution. Anything that is reusable and safe for your body is a good choice. So I say, the paper bag is much better than, plastic bags that you're going to throw away. But it's also, unless you're going to fold it up, take it home and reuse it the next day, it's not reusable. So there are some great options out there. Do you want me to go through a few?
I wouldn't mind because I guess as we're talking about this, kids that are going to school, mom wants a pack of lunch. You got to be doing the same thing as my wife. Figure your situation out. But almost all of it, except for again, if you have little Tupperwares, You're getting Ziploc baggies then, right? Inside, you got the carrots inside a zip. Now we're ruining the whole idea of the plastic bag and trying to save the planet. This is a quandary.
Yeah, it is. But quander no more.
All right.
Wonder no more. So I actually, in preparation for seeing you this morning, I was going to one of my favorite organization sites called beyondplastics.org. And they have a great guide for back to school. And they have a few tips on there that I talk about all the time. And so it was a good refresher for me since back to school is only once a year usually. So a few ideas for sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Novel idea, but you could just wrap your sandwich in a napkin.
Oh, you're looking at a napkin, which is not a paper napkin. This is a cloth napkin.
Listeners can't see. You could use these funky reusable beeswax wraps. They're like cloth that's been covered with a layer of beeswax, healthy, fine.
Yep.
And totally beautiful and reusable. And you can, and I just did this when I took the Amtrak train to New York 2 days ago. I wrapped up my sandwich in this beeswax wrap, and that's exactly, and I put it into my purse, and that's exactly what I ate my sandwich from. So for
can we quick, and maybe you know this, but your gal from Eat or Toss was on the program here 2 weeks ago. If you're putting a sandwich just straight into a paper bag and just put it right in, that's not going to last 4 hours? I would think it would.
Of course it will. But
well, then you don't need a bag or a beeswax thingy. Can't you just put it in the bag, roll her up tight? And
you can, but that gets back to your question of a few minutes ago. What's the best thing? So the paper bag, you're probably not going to reuse, but go for it if you want to use the bag. I think when I used to pack bag lunches when I went to school, I would usually put more than a sandwich in, right? I would put sandwich and I'd put the carrots and the apple or whatever. And so if you're putting more things in there than just the sandwich, then maybe you want to protect it with something.
All right.
That's the idea. So anyway, so a beeswax wrap or just a plain old napkin into the paper bag or into the canvas tote or whatever it is a great alternative. There are also these silicone bags that you can buy for snacks, and they're like Ziplocs.
Yes.
They are like almost exactly like Ziplocs, but because they've got the zip on the top.
But isn't silicone a plastic?
It is, but it's reusable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I wouldn't heat your stuff up in here, but it's great we took some carrots also to New York in one of these little baggies, so I think that's a great alternative.
Can I ask you something? Does your husband sometimes feel like he's 12? You're going on a trip to New York and you packed sandwiches and a little thing of carrot sticks. I'm sorry. Maybe a little bit.
I don't pack the carrot sticks, actually.
Oh.
He's the carrot stick guy.
All right.
So, he's the one who says, can you find me one of those reusable bags? Because I've got a whole bunch of carrots I cut up. So bless him.
Yes, agreed.
Bless him for not using a Ziploc bag, and because we do have some emergency ones, but for actually using the more sustainable alternative. Yeah, he has to.
God love you, Stephanie. We have some emergency bags on the side just in case. You have found the right guy. You have got the right guy.
I think I have. And I like to think he's found the right gal too. Okay, so I am going
to take a pause for this fine break. Can you lead us into what you want to talk about on the other side?
Well, I just want to talk about hot lunch ideas because you can't. None of these are good for hot lunches.
Oh, I like that. Okay, we'll do that right after this. Stephanie Miller talking about to get to school. Because we're going back to school these days, people.
Tired of one-sided media and divisive noise drowning out your conservative values? Take back the conversation with Braver Angels. Join a grassroots movement to restore civility and find common ground without compromising your principles. As a conservative, your voice matters. Share your perspective on issues like immigration and public health in Red Blue workshops and help rebuild trust in our great nation. Be a leader in depolarizing America. Sign up for free at mn.braverangels.org. Braver Angels, where conservatives, liberals, and independents unite for a stronger republic.
You know that car sound that sounds like a cricket playing a banjo? Jay's can fix that. You know when you step on the brakes and your car sounds like a pair of tennis shoes in the dryer? Paul is a guy who specializes in that. And you know that sound that never happens when the mechanic's around? Paul took a whole course on that. If you own a car, you need to know Paul. Paul owns Jay's Auto Shop, 202 North Main Street, Blue Earth, 525-1052, 525-1052.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
We know her. She's going to save the planet for us, the 80-20 way. She wrote the book on it. She's Stephanie Miller, Zero Waste Living the 80-20 Way, the busy person's guide to a lighter footprint. If you did 20% of the work but got 80% of the results, wouldn't you jump in? And we did years ago, and we can't wait to have her on the program. All right, so the cold lunch thing, a lot of options. But I presume once you go hot lunch, you're kind of in a pickle.
Yeah, well, I really like a hot lunch. I'm not a big sandwich person. I did just take a sandwich on the train to New York because, what am I going to do? But if you like a hot lunch or your kids like a hot lunch, then what you need to do is either get a thermos where they can, it'll keep warm. And I used to have one for my son. Or you can get a Pyrex container that you put the food in that you can microwave. You do not want to microwave the Tupperware, the plastic stuff. And obviously you cannot microwave the metal stuff.
Yeah.
I also, for things like salads or drippy things, you need an airtight container. Obviously a beeswax wrap or a little baggie not going to cut it for a salad or something with dressing or sauce. I really like to use stainless steel, as long as you don't have to heat it up. It's a great alternative. So that's what I do. I'm not advertising any companies. I'm just telling you what materials I like. And then I wanted to talk about cutlery because a lot of people don't know this, but the plastic forks, knives, spoons, they are not recyclable. Okay, don't put them in the recycle bin.
Oh, okay.
Don't put them at school in the recycle container. They're not recyclable. They're not accepted by any.
Did not know that.
No, they're plastic. Technically, they could be recycled. Nobody wants these. No waste management systems want these because they gum up the works. They're too thin, small. They break. Anyway, it doesn't work. So there are lots of alternatives, and this beyondplastics.org reminded me of a couple of alternatives. And then I have one that I don't think I've seen anyone else talk about, which I think is the most fun one. Let me tell you if you want to invest in a little bamboo cutlery set, they're very cute. They're very helpful. You can use them every day, wash them at the end of the day. If you don't want to invest in anything, you can just take a good old fork, spoon,
Yep.
knife, whatever you need to work, to school, and wrap it in a napkin, right? That's the cheap, don't buy anything alternative.
And be sure your kids take them home, because otherwise you lose forks. Been there, done that.
Yeah, if you have a kid who's absent-minded, don't do that option. But one fun thing I thought of recently that I wish I'd done before when my son was little is, those camper sets, the cool spork forks.
Oh, yeah.
Open them up.
Yeah.
I just think that's such a fun alternative for lunch because kids love those, not Swiss Army knives, but the camping
Yeah.
sets, right? That open up and suddenly you've got a really
They look like
good
They look like a
spoon or fork.
switchblade, but it opens up as a fork or a knife or a spoon. Yes.
Exactly. And I just think that's a fun thing, especially for younger kids. And maybe they're less likely to forget it, lose it because it's a cool thing. So that's my
I like the
one-
idea you call it a cutlery when we're talking about sporks and stuff.
Well, whatever. You know what I
Pretty
mean.
fancy word
I don't
for
want
the
to call
spork.
it silverware because it's
Yeah.
not silver. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
I didn't see, because you didn't say it, I'm going to try to rip on you. But now we get the food down. What about beverages?
yes,
I've been doing this for you, by the way. Instead of having a beverage in a styrofoam cup at the course, I brought my reusable thermosy cup thing, and I just literally go up to the gal and said, just make it in this, whatever you usually do, but don't, otherwise you're just pouring one into the next. I've saved the planet at least in a couple of dozen plastic cup stuffs in the last 2 weeks.
I'm super. That's great. And you were setting an example for others when you did that. Because people follow you,
Or the other guys look at me like I'm a nut job, but I've
No.
just changed.
But that's the thing is you've got to be willing to be the first nut job so that people see it's actually a normal thing and a cool idea. Usually people just think,
I just wonder if I bring out my switchblade fork to eat the next time I'm out there, those guys don't just go crazy. But I will next time. I'm going to pick one up. I like the camping stuff. I like
it's
the
a
idea.
thought. So beverages.
Yes.
Number one tip on that, and I meant to get this here, but your listeners can't see it anyway, is carry a reusable water bottle with you everywhere. I've just invested in a smaller version that actually fits in my purse. You probably don't carry a purse, but my husband likes his reusable water bottle that's got a little handle on it. So we were walking around New York and he said, no, I don't want to put it in your bag. I want to just carry it around. Really easy. For young kids, putting their favorite stickers, decorating their water bottles makes it really personal, makes them less likely to forget the bottle at school. If it ends up in the lost and found, it will be personalized theirs. So I really recommend that. It doesn't work great if you want a beverage that is not water, right? Because
They've got to find a way of cleaning those. I presume there's stainless steely kind of stuff inside, but to get them back and, let's say you're water, but this time I'm going to have, I don't know, Bloody Mary. Okay. Now the taste in that, I threw something out that had a bad taste. I don't even like Bloody Marys, but now it's got that tomato taste in there, which it's just hard to clean. They need to find a way of cleaning those bad boys better.
They have. There's a thing called a bottle brush, and it's like a pipe cleaner, right? But for bottles, and it looks a bit like a toilet bowl brush, to be honest, but it's smaller.
All right.
And
Don't
that
mix them
works.
up.
Just for water, I clean, because you're drinking out of it all day.
Sitting out getting it. Okay, fair enough. We are out of time, Stephanie. I'm so glad you're back. I'm so glad you're doing well enough that you are back to be with us on a regular. Thank you. I appreciate you a ton.
Oh, I'm so glad to be back too. Thank you.
Stephanie Miller, ZeroWasteInDC.com.
Achieving your financial goals requires individual planning and a comprehensive approach.